Beloved soul, close your eyes for an instant and allow yourself to remember that night when you suddenly woke up with the strange, intense feeling of not being alone. The room was silent. The darkness enveloped every corner. But there was something different in the air. Your heart raced, your breathing deepened, and even with no one around, your skin seemed to carry the memory of a soft, real, palpable touch. This moment might have been as confusing as it was breathtaking, leaving you torn between the logic that said it was just a dream and the emotion that shouted this was too real to be fabricated. This is precisely where the celestial guardians ask for your attention. There are revelations hidden behind experiences like this, and they cannot be ignored. This kind of feeling doesn't happen by chance. When someone wakes up feeling a kiss on their lips, a caress on their hand, or even a hug that warms their chest, they are facing a powerful spiritual sign. The messengers of light affirm that these subtle contacts often occur when a soul connected to you in another space or circumstance sends its energy in the most intimate way possible. Touch. It is not just memory or fantasy. It is desire. It is connection. It is proof that something invisible can cross barriers and reach you at the moment your heart is most receptive. How many times have you wondered if there is still someone who holds a deep feeling for you, even without declaring it out loud? How many times has the memory of a presence stirred your inner being, bringing shivers for no apparent reason? Know that these signs do not arise randomly. The celestial messengers want you to understand that your soul is a magnet, capable of attracting the thoughts, desires, and even the gestures of those who hold hidden feelings for you. This invisible touch you felt is a revelation that someone, in silence, is sending their energy, proving that distance does not erase what the heart still desires. Before we continue, write this mantra in the comments. I attract true love and am touched by the light of the angels. Now, continuing the message. When you wake up with such a vivid sensation, it is natural to try to rationalize. Did my body just react to some random dream? But the messengers of light remind you that ordinary dreams dissolve at dawn, leaving fragmented and vague memories. This type of experience, however, lingers on the skin, in the heart, and in the mind, as if it were real. And the reason is simple. In fact, it is real. At the moment you were resting, your energy field was open, and a spiritual connection crossed the invisible to become almost palpable. That person, who holds an intense feeling for you, found a gap to express what they didn't dare to say in words. Beloved being, this revelation carries a calling. The celestial guardians don't just want you to perceive the presence of this energy, but to understand what it means. There is a hidden desire that insists on living, even if time, distance, or silence have tried to smother it. It is a call to recognize that you still awaken intense emotions in someone who believes they have lost the chance to approach. And this person is more present in your life than you imagine, even if silently. Imagine what it's like for a soul to keep a desire so profound secret that it manages to cross the barrier of reality even in dreams to touch another person. It is not a common experience. It is an energetic communication, a spiritual visit that demonstrates the strength of guarded feelings. It is as if the heart of this being could no longer bear the distance, and so it seeks you in moments when consciousness relaxes and the soul can fly freely to meet the one it truly desires. Sweet soul, the angels reveal that these nightly encounters are invitations to believe in the power of love again. Many times throughout your life, you may have felt that some stories ended without closure, that there were unwritten chapters, unspoken words, and hugs that never happened. This invisible touch appears as proof that nothing true is ever lost. The energy of an authentic desire remains alive, just awaiting the right moment to reveal itself. Every night, when you lay your head on the pillow, your spirit opens up to dimensions that the waking consciousness cannot access. It is in this sacred space that the celestial messengers work, bringing subtle messages that manifest in intense dreams. And it is there too that someone, in silence, seeks you, touching your essence in a way that reason could never explain. The shiver that ran down your skin, the warmth that remained in your chest upon waking, all of this is a sign that you are being remembered with love and desire. There is something profoundly transformative in accepting this truth. You are still intensely desired. This recognition is not vanity, it is a spiritual gift. It means that your presence in the world has inestimable value, that your essence has left deep marks on someone's heart, to the point of crossing invisible boundaries to manifest in your life. The celestial guardians want you to welcome this revelation with gratitude and hope. For what you felt was not an illusion. It was proof that the flame of love remains alight somewhere, waiting for the instant it can express itself fully. Perhaps you are wondering, who is this person? Why now, after so much time, are these signs appearing? The celestial messengers ask you not to cling to these immediate answers. The most important thing is to understand that there is a living energy in movement, that a spiritual bond is being reactivated. This connection will be unveiled little by little, as you keep your heart open and your faith firm. Spiritual timing is perfect, and what belongs to your path will not fail to reveal itself. Beloved being, the guardians of light also remind you that the invisible touch is not just a sign of human desire, but also of spiritual care. The angels use this way to show that you are not alone, that you are protected, loved, and remembered on all planes. When someone touches your soul in a dream, it can also be a sign that the forces of love are being mobilized to bring back the joy and hope you deserve to feel in your life. Allow yourself to receive this message with all your heart. Accept that you are loved in ways you may not yet understand. The invisible touch that reached you was not a coincidence. It was a powerful reminder that your essence continues to be light for someone, inspiration for feelings that have never faded. And by accepting this truth, you open space for new manifestations of this love to reach you, not only in dreams, but also in your waking reality. Dear soul, now take a deep breath and feel the certainty that you are worthy of deep love, of real gestures, of affections that cross the invisible. The celestial messengers are preparing something greater, and this touch you felt is only the prelude to revelations that will change the way you see love and spirituality. Believe, you were touched because you are special, because you still occupy someone's heart, because there are still stories waiting to be lived. Being of light, now that you understand that touch was not an illusion, but a true expression of spiritual desire, it is time to go even deeper into this revelation. The messengers of light show that what you experienced is not just an isolated sign. There is a sequence of manifestations happening in your life. Small details that, together, form a larger plot. The shiver that arrives for no reason. The dreams that seem so real. The sudden memory of someone you thought you had forgotten. All of this is intertwined, and the angels want you to know. There is a soul that still intensely vibrates for you, that continues to desire your presence in a way that time has not erased. This energy that invades your night does not come from nowhere. It arises from guarded feelings, from emotions that were never confessed, or from a story that was left unfinished. The celestial guardians say that often, when someone cannot express what they feel in words, this force accumulates and finds spiritual outlets to manifest itself. That is why you woke up feeling that invisible touch. It was someone's heart, in silence, seeking to approach through the only bridge that remained, the spiritual field. Think about how many times you have had the feeling of being remembered, even without having contact with that person. Perhaps throughout the day, a scent made you recall them, or a song, a place, a simple word brought to the surface memories that seemed dormant. Know that these signs are not just arising from your memory. They are part of the energy that this being sends to you, as if wanting to ensure they are not forgotten. The invisible touch is merely the most intense form of this communication, the proof that this person's soul refuses to let go of yours. Beloved being, the celestial messengers show that a struggle is happening inside this person. There is a conflict between the deep desire to approach and the fear of revealing what they feel. This conflict generates energy, and that energy seeks outlets. That is why you feel touches, shivers, and intense dreams. This soul cannot completely hide what it feels, and spirituality allows these feelings to escape and reach you, as reminders that there is something alive between you. But there is something even deeper. The touch you felt was not only physical desire, it was also a call from the heart. The celestial guardians reveal that this person harbors regret, a sense of having lost opportunities, of not having spoken or acted when they should have. And now, the desire mixes with the yearning for reconciliation, for closeness, for rewriting what was left unfinished. The intimate dream doesn't just speak of desire, it speaks of longing, of memories that never cease to exist, of a connection that time tried to erase but failed. Sweet soul, allow yourself to reflect on this. How many times have you felt that certain stories never truly ended, that some doors were never locked? The invisible touch is proof that a door is open, and that someone in silence is still walking down that invisible corridor until they reach you. It is not just imagination. It is spiritual energy proving that real feelings do not die with silence, but find ways to resurface when you least expect it. The messengers of light ask you to welcome this experience as an opportunity to awaken your own energy. You were not chosen by chance to feel this touch. You were touched because there is something in you that is still loved, admired, and desired. This should awaken not only curiosity about who is sending this energy, but also gratitude for the certainty that your soul has value. The love that stems from you has not gone unnoticed, and the universe is making sure that this truth comes to light at the right time. Now, you need to connect with this energy. Before we continue, write 22 in the comments to call it forth. This simple action is a sign of openness, a gesture that strengthens the spiritual bond and confirms to the guardians of light that you are receptive to what they are revealing. Something very special is happening. This person, who still carries desire and longing for you, is about to go through a moment of clarity. Silence and distance no longer serve as a shield. They are realizing that, no matter how much they try to resist, the strength of this feeling is greater than pride, greater than fear, greater even than circumstances. What you felt in your body upon waking was only the first sign that this being is starting to surrender to what can no longer be denied: the love that still exists. Beloved soul, the celestial guardians want you to know that a movement is taking place behind the scenes of life. Internal conversations, silent reflections, and even important decisions are being made by this being. The invisible touch that reached you is like a rehearsal, a preparation for the moment when this energy will cease to be just spiritual and become concrete. It is as if life were pushing this person to finally accept what they feel and seek a reunion. And here is the truth that can transform your vision. This desire is not just carnal or momentary. It carries memories of affection, tenderness, care, and an emotional connection that has crossed time. This is what makes the invisible touch so intense. It is not just skin seeking skin, but heart calling heart. The messengers of light want you to realize that this calling does not happen to just anyone. It only happens when there is something sacred and true that still needs to be lived. Being of light, open your heart to welcome this revelation. The angels remind us that love has unexpected ways of manifesting, and that sometimes it chooses the invisible to prove that it is still alive. Do not doubt what you felt. On the contrary, trust. Because this touch is proof that something is being prepared, an approach that can bring healing, renewal, and joy. The invisible merely anticipated what soon can become reality. And if, upon hearing this, you feel your heart vibrating, your memory igniting, your soul recognizing itself in this description, welcome that feeling. It is the sign that you are ready to receive what the universe is preparing. The celestial messengers ask you to keep the faith, because something much bigger is approaching, something that will give meaning to every shiver, every dream, and every invisible touch that has ever crossed your skin. Beloved being, if this message resonated with you, know that your energy and support are fundamental. If you felt truth in this content, contribute with a gesture of affection. Donate by clicking the thanks button. This support allows more messages of light to continue reaching you and so many other souls who need to hear. Furthermore, share your experiences in the comments and help strengthen this current of love and revelations. Beloved being, so far you have understood that that invisible touch was not by chance, but a powerful calling that crossed the silence of the night to reach your soul. Now, the messengers of light want to show that what you felt is only the beginning of an even deeper revelation. There is an energy in movement, a force that insists on approaching you, even when all circumstances seem to point to the contrary. It is as if an invisible bond is being reactivated, bringing to the surface feelings that were hidden, but never disappeared. Have you ever stopped to think why, at certain moments, the heart insists on remembering someone? Why does the body respond to a memory with shivers and emotions so vivid, as if the experience had just happened? The celestial guardians explain that this occurs because there are spiritual bonds that cannot be erased by time or distance. They remain as cords of light, connecting two souls, even when everything around seems to suggest that the connection was lost. The invisible touch is one of these manifestations, the most intimate sign that someone still vibrates for you. This being who connects with you is going through an intense process of inner awakening. In silence, perhaps even in solitude, they are being confronted with the truth of their own feelings. The attempts to hide behind pride or circumstances are no longer sufficient. The angels show that there is a weariness, and exhaustion from denying what the heart screams. And when this resistance falls, the energy seeks you, arriving in the form of dreams so real that they leave marks on the body upon waking. Sweet soul, this type of experience carries a special message. You are loved, desired, and remembered in a way that transcends time. Even if you don't know who the person sending this energy is, the certainty that someone still vibrates for you should already be welcomed as a blessing. The celestial messengers want you to feel this revelation not just as curiosity, but as a reminder that your emotional and spiritual life still holds intense surprises, ready to reveal themselves at the right time. Now is the time to prepare for this new phase. Spirituality reveals that this bond is about to become clearer, and that soon you will have concrete signs of this approach. The invisible touch you felt is just the first flame of a larger fire that is being rekindled. Therefore, keep in your mind and your heart. Nothing that is true is lost. It only awaits the right moment to flourish again. Beloved soul, the celestial guardians ask you to strengthen this connection with your energy of faith and openness. It is important that you do not close yourself off to doubt or mistrust. The more open you are to receiving, the faster the signs will become clear and visible in your life. Trust is the key that opens the door to revelation. The invisible touch is not the end, but the prelude to greater encounters, to moments when you can look into this person's eyes and feel that what was already happening in the invisible can now be lived in reality. And for this process to continue flowing, it is essential to stay connected with messages that strengthen your faith. Before continuing, subscribe to the channel. This helps us continue to create meaningful content for you. Now, continuing the message. The angels reveal that, in addition to confirming someone's hidden desire, this invisible touch is also a warning to you. Prepare for changes in your emotional life. Just as this being who still vibrates for you is in the process of awakening, you too will be invited to review feelings, to make space in your life for something new, or for the resumption of something that seemed lost. Spirituality wants you to understand that nothing is over when love is true. There is a numerical message that needs to reach you now. The number that carries the energy of luck, protection, and prosperity for this day is 7. This angelic number is a sign of inner wisdom, deep spiritual connection, and certainties that arise after periods of doubt. It represents the meeting between your intuition and the revelations that the celestial messengers are bringing to you. Therefore, welcome this energy into your life and declare, I receive the energy of the angels. My lucky number is 7 and I am blessed. I send love and protection to the person I truly like and love. Write this phrase in the comments, because by doing so, you strengthen the spiritual bond. Open your heart to receive blessings and spread light to everyone else who also needs this energy. Beloved being, spirituality is moving important pieces on your path. The angels show that from the moment you accept the reality of this invisible touch, your energy begins to align with experiences that can transform your love life. What seemed lost is being rescued. What seemed faded is shining again. And what was hidden in dreams is preparing to reveal itself in your waking reality. This is the time for courage, faith, and trust. The messengers of light ask you not to cling to the doubts of the past. What has passed is not a prison, but a lesson. What matters now is the present, the calling that reaches you in the form of clear signs and experiences that cannot be ignored. The invisible touch was the first warning, and many others will come, each one more intense, each one closer to revealing the truth that needs to be lived. Sweet soul, open your heart to receive this energy. You were chosen to feel, because there is something grand prepared for you. The angels do not work in vain. Every detail, every sign, every sensation is part of a great plan that desires to bring back the joy, the passion, and the true love into your life. Trust, because the universe is already moving the gears that will put you and this person face to face, allowing the invisible to become reality. Now take a deep breath and keep this certainty. You are loved, you are desired, you are remembered. The invisible touch was only the first proof of a much greater revelation that is on its way. Beloved soul, so far the celestial messengers have shown that the invisible touch you felt is not a result of chance, but a powerful sign of desire and remembrance that crosses the barriers of time. Now, it is necessary to reveal something even deeper. For this energy to become clear and manifest fully in your life, you need to open space in your heart. The space for love cannot be filled when there are open wounds, guarded resentments, or heavy memories that still imprison your soul. Many of the invisible touches that arrive during sleep or in the quiet moments of the mind are also invitations to forgiveness. Spirituality shows that the bond between two souls is strengthened when there is lightness, and that the most subtle energies can only cross when they do not encounter walls of bitterness. The touch you felt was real, but for it to transform into something even greater, it is necessary to let go of what weighs you down and release what should no longer be carried. Sweet soul, to forgive is not to forget, nor is it to justify. Forgiveness is an act of liberation. It is when you say to yourself, I no longer want the memory of this pain to determine my present. The angels affirm that when you release the weight of resentment, you not only free yourself, but also clear the path for what truly matters to approach. The invisible touch was a sign that love is still alive, but it needs a clean space to flourish. Often those who hurt us also carry regret, but do not know how to approach. Other times, the greatest weight is not even in the other person's attitude, but in the way we hold on to it within ourselves. Therefore, the messengers of light ask you to allow yourself a symbolic act of forgiveness. It is a simple gesture, but one that can open powerful spiritual portals. Beloved being, at this moment, close your eyes and visualize the people who left marks on you. Among them, also include yourself, because it is common for the soul to carry guilt that shouldn't exist. See each face, each memory, and allow the energy of forgiveness to envelop each scene. Say mentally, I forgive you and I free you. May peace be with you. By doing this, you not only release the burden you carry, but you also become capable of receiving the new that is ready to enter your life. Write a list of people in the comments, including yourself, that you would like to forgive. Visualize each one of them. Send love and say, I forgive you and I free you. May peace be with you. Repeat this practice every day to strengthen your inner peace and release anxiety. This practice is not only spiritual, it is also an act of self-care. Forgiveness cleanses wounds, restores lightness to the heart, and, mainly, opens space for the energy of love to manifest in your life in a true way. If the invisible touch you felt came from someone who holds regrets, know that by releasing forgiveness, you will be facilitating this soul's path to you. And if the touch came as a sign of spiritual care, forgiveness will allow this energy to express itself even more clearly. Being of light, forgiving is like opening windows in a house that has been closed for a long time. New air enters, light shines through, and suddenly the whole environment transforms. This is what happens with your soul too. When you open the window of forgiveness, the invisible touch ceases to be just a breath and can transform into a real hug. The celestial guardians want you to understand that this is the moment to let go. Stop carrying burdens that do not belong to the present. Sweet soul, by releasing these energies, you align with the frequency of true love. It is as if your soul is saying to the universe, I am ready, I am open, I am available to receive what is mine by right. And the universe responds, bringing encounters, reconciliations, and opportunities that were previously blocked. The invisible touch was the first calling. Forgiveness will be the second step, the one that fully opens the door for the arrival of love in its fullest form. And remember, forgiveness is not a gift for those who hurt you. Forgiveness is a gift for yourself. It is the key that opens the cell where your own soul may be trapped. By forgiving, you release the chains that held your heart and allow it to beat freely again. And a free heart is irresistible. It is light. It is energy that attracts what is true. Dear soul, the celestial guardians want you to know that the universe is moving to bring you the complete revelation of this invisible touch. But for this to happen, your energy needs to be light, ready, open. Forgiveness is what prepares the soil for the seed of love to germinate. Without forgiveness, the roots do not find space. With forgiveness, everything flourishes, except this invitation. Visualize, write, declare. Let go of what no longer serves, release what weighs you down. By doing this, you will not only be preparing to rediscover love, but also to feel the lightness of peace again. And this peace will be the ground where the invisible touch transforms into something even more real. Sweet soul, after opening space with forgiveness, your energy begins to align with a new movement. It is as if the celestial messengers were removing the shadows that previously prevented the light from passing through. Now what once seemed distant begins to take shape and clarity. The invisible touch, that spiritual gesture that awakened your soul, was only the first sign. There are other, more intense signs already on their way, and you need to be attentive to recognize them. Many people have powerful spiritual experiences, but end up ignoring or rationalizing so much that they let the messages delivered to them slip away. The celestial guardians insist on repeating, "Nothing happens by chance." The sudden shiver, the feeling that someone pronounced your name, the unexpected memory of a face or a smile, all of these are subtle messages sent to prepare your heart. Beloved being, your soul is sensitive, even if you don't realize it. The simple fact of having felt an invisible touch already shows how receptive you are to the energies of love that come from the spiritual plane. Now, this sensitivity needs to be cultivated. You need to learn to differentiate between what is merely thought and what is a spiritual revelation. Thought arises from the mind. The revelation, on the other hand, comes accompanied by intense emotion, a sensation that stirs the body and cannot be explained only by logic. The messengers of light explain that the next signs may come in different forms. It could be through increasingly vivid dreams, where you not only feel the touch but also hear words, see places, and relive moments. It could be through unexpected encounters, synchronicities that seem like the work of chance, but which are actually guided by the universe to bring you closer to what you need to live. It could even be through repeated symbols, such as numbers that appear frequently, songs that play at the right time, phrases that surface when you most need to hear them. Sweet soul, when these signs arrive, do not ignore them. Give thanks. Say out loud, "I recognize this message, and I am ready to receive what it announces." This simple gesture opens your energy even more so that the universe can continue sending confirmations. What began as an invisible touch gradually transforms into an increasingly clear presence until it manifests before your eyes. And there is one more important revelation. This being who still vibrates for you is being led to make concrete movements. The silence that was maintained for so long is becoming unbearable. The longing no longer fits inside the soul. The desire that expressed itself in the form of an invisible touch must now find an outlet in real life. The celestial guardians show that this being is in the process of deciding. And when that decision is made, your emotional life can change in ways you cannot imagine. Beloved being, you may be wondering, am I ready for this? The celestial messengers answer yes, because the fact that you are hearing this message, that you feel the truth vibrating in every word, is already a sign that your soul is prepared. Spirituality does not deliver anything you are not capable of living. If the touch reached you, it is because you are at the right moment to receive the revelation and the approach that follow. Being of light, the celestial guardians ask you to strengthen your faith. No matter how much time has passed, no matter how many doubts have arisen, the truth is that the connection between two souls is never lost when there is true love. And you are about to see this truth materialize. Your mission now is to remain open, receptive, confident. The universe is already working in your favor, moving circumstances, aligning encounters, preparing every detail. And when the signs become clearer, when you feel that shiver again, that touch, that memory so strong it seems like a real presence, welcome it without fear. For it will not just be a memory, it will be the prelude to the reunion that is destined to happen. Dear soul, life is about to surprise you. The invisible touch that seemed only a spiritual breath will become a concrete hug, a word spoken face to face, a look that reveals everything that has been hidden for so long. What was invisible will become reality. The angels want you to trust and keep your heart warm with hope. When you open your eyes in the morning and remember the vivid dream, when you feel a sudden shiver for no apparent reason, or when you notice that someone from the past crosses your path again, know, it is not a coincidence. It is spirituality preparing you to live what was written in your destiny. True love is not lost. It only waits for the right time to manifest. Beloved being, keep this in mind. You are being guided. Nothing that has happened so far has been in vain. The invisible touch was the beginning. Forgiveness opened space. And now the signs are emerging like pieces of a puzzle that will soon be complete. Trust what you feel, follow the voice of your intuition, and allow the celestial guardians to guide your steps. And remember, when the signs emerge, write, record, share. This strengthens your faith and shows the universe that you recognize the messages. The more you value the signs, the more they multiply in your life. Beloved being, now that your soul has begun to recognize the signs and welcome the invisible touch as a spiritual truth, the celestial messengers bring a new calling. It is not enough to just keep this experience in silence. It is necessary to multiply the light that reached you. Just as someone sent an invisible gesture that reached your skin and your heart, you can also be a channel for this energy for other souls who need hope. It is in this movement of sharing, that love expands, and the strength of the invisible becomes palpable in the world. Sweet soul, the angels reveal that every time you share a message of light, you ignite a flame in hearts that may be on the verge of giving up. Think of how many people around you may be living in silence, missing someone, questioning if they are still loved, if they are still desired. Perhaps they never have the courage to confess their doubts, but a word, a gesture, a video can be the sign they were waiting for to believe again. The invisible touch you felt did not just come to show that there is someone who vibrates for you. It also came to awaken in you the power to ignite that same certainty in other lives. Love is an invisible current that only strengthens when it passes from hand to hand, from heart to heart. The celestial guardians want you to become an active part of this current, spreading what you received, multiplying the energy that reached you at the moment you needed it most. Beloved soul, when you share this message, you are not just clicking a button or sending a link. You are opening portals. You are allowing spirituality to reach those who might never have had the courage to ask for help. You become an instrument of the celestial messengers, bringing to other souls the proof that they are not alone, that there is love vibrating for them in the invisible, that there is hope, even when everything seems silent, and there is something even stronger. Every time you spread this message, the angels amplify the light in your own life. The gesture of generosity creates a wave of return, an energy of protection that surrounds your soul. Because the universe always gives back when someone decides to be a channel of hope for others. The invisible touch you receive now multiplies, reaching not only you, but all those who cross your path. Beloved being, the guardians of light ask you to join this movement. Make it a practice. Just as you received, share. Just as you were touched, touch. Just as you felt hope, spread it. For love is only true when it transforms into a bridge between souls. Share this video with 2 dear people who are in need of this message of hope and faith. Let's build a current of love and mutual support together. Leave a comment with a prayer for your guardian angel. Sweet soul, every prayer you write is like a seed planted in the spiritual garden. The angels gather these words and transform them into protection, into signs, into blessings that reach you and those you pray for. Do not underestimate the strength of a simple prayer. Sometimes, a few sincerely spoken words have more power than long speeches. When you write, "My guardian angel, be with me and with those I love," the entire heaven moves to grant that request. Beloved soul, understand. The invisible touch was not only a gift for you, it was also a calling to become light in the lives of others. The universe does not waste signs. If you were chosen to feel, you were also chosen to share. There is a greater plan happening, and you are part of it. The celestial messengers show that this current of sharing creates an invisible network of protection and love. Every person who receives this message, every heart that awakens, strengthens this network and sends even more energy back to you. It is a cycle of blessings that has no end. The more you share, the more you receive. The more you pray for others, the more prayers are directed to you. Beloved being, there is a spiritual secret that the celestial guardians want to reveal. No one ever loses by offering love. Every time you make space for another person to be blessed, life finds ways to bless you in return. This happens because love is not limited. It multiplies, it grows, it expands in the same proportion as it is offered. So welcome this invitation. Become part of this current of light. Share, pray, write. Be a channel for what you received. For the invisible touch that reached you is not just a reminder of love, it is also a mission. To multiply hope in a world that so often forgets the beauty of believing. Dear soul, the angels affirm that when you decide to spread this message, you also send signals to that being who vibrates for you in silence. Every gesture of love you offer strengthens the path for that person to find the courage to approach. The universe observes your movements, and everything done with sincerity and generosity opens space for miracles to happen. So take a deep breath and declare in your heart, I am part of this current of light. I spread love. I multiply hope. This declaration seals your energy with the frequency of true love and sends to the universe the confirmation that you are ready to receive. Beloved being, the celestial guardians want you to know that you are not alone in this mission. There is a legion of light walking beside you. Every step you take towards love echoes in invisible dimensions, attracting blessings you cannot yet imagine. The invisible touch was the first gift, but the greatest gift is yet to come, the concrete realization of what your soul so desires. Dear soul, we have reached the most sensitive and transformative point of this revelation. The invisible touch that crossed your skin that awakened memories and stirred your heart, was not just a spiritual visit or an isolated gesture. It was the confirmation that something greater is happening, something that is already being prepared to manifest concretely in your life. The celestial messengers affirm clearly, what once seemed only a sign in dreams may soon reveal itself in your waking reality. Beloved being, it is natural for doubts to arise. After all, how can one believe that a simple shiver, an invisible touch, or an intense dream can carry such a powerful truth? But spirituality always chooses subtle paths to surprise us. The universe rarely shouts. It whispers through gestures, coincidences, sensations that only the sensitive soul can perceive. And you were chosen to feel, because your soul was already ready to understand. The angels show that this being who vibrates for you in silence is going through a moment of decision. For a long time, they tried to resist what they felt, preferring to hide behind masks, justifications, or silence. But the heart never completely falls silent. When the soul truly loves, it finds ways to express itself, even if it is through an invisible touch in the middle of the night. Now, that same soul is being guided to approach you more clearly, more openly, and more honestly. Sweet soul, the celestial guardians want you to know that this approach will not just be any reunion. It will be an opportunity for healing, liberation, to live what was never lived. Those hugs not given, the words swallowed, the feelings kept. All of this will find space to finally be expressed. The universe is preparing the stage for the invisible to become a real presence, for what you have dreamed of so many times to be experienced in your waking life. Beloved soul, welcome this preparation with gratitude. Every time you feel a shiver, every time a dream becomes so vivid that it seems real, every time your heart is invaded by a memory for no apparent reason, see this as a rehearsal for what is to come. The celestial messengers guarantee that these signs are not happening in vain. They are proof that something is about to happen, and that you are already being trained to receive without fear, without doubt, without resistance. Being of light, your mission now is to remain open, firm, and confident. Do not close yourself off in fear that all of this is just imagination. Do not hide behind disbelief, for the invisible has already proven its strength, and you felt it in your own body. That was the first step of a revelation that will still unfold. The next step will be taken in concrete life, in encounters you do not expect, in signs that can no longer be ignored, in gestures that will show that spirituality was preparing you all along. Beloved being, the angels ask you to remain in prayer, for prayer is the thread that sustains this connection. When you pray, you strengthen the bond. When you write your feelings, you free up space for the universe to move. When you share, you multiply the strength of the message. Your every gesture contributes to the love that vibrates in silence, finding the courage to reveal itself. Dear soul, do not be surprised if in the coming days you feel the invisible touch again. It may return, perhaps even more intense, as a reminder that the approach is closer than ever. And when that happens, receive it with serenity. Take a deep breath and say, I accept the love that the universe is preparing for me. This simple phrase opens portals and dissolves resistance. The celestial guardians affirm that the life of those who believe never remains the same. When you open your heart, miracles find space to happen. The invisible touch was the sign that someone still vibrates for you, but it was also the sign that the universe wants to bring joy, passion, and renewal to your path. Sweet soul, the messengers of light want you to know that there are no limits to love when it is true, even if it has been hidden, even if it has been denied, even if it has been interrupted, it will always find a way to return. And now it is your turn to live this return, to allow yourself to believe that the best is yet to come. Beloved being, keep this certainty. You were touched because you are special. You were chosen because there are still stories to live. You were remembered because your presence in the world is irreplaceable. The invisible merely anticipated what is about to flourish before you. And now, at the end of this message, the celestial guardians ask you to write this phrase in the comments. I accept the invisible love that becomes real in my life. This declaration seals your energy with the frequency of true love and sends the universe the confirmation that you are ready to receive. If this message touched your heart, consider supporting us. Subscribe to the channel, donate, share. This gesture allows this message to reach other dear souls who need spiritual support. The angels thank you for your presence and await you in the next video.